you. Hi, this is Miss Litten, and this is back to school night, and these are the parents of Period 2 Honors Bio, but this does apply to my other classes as well. Say hi.
Hello.
They're saying hi. So my name is Winnie Litten, and I have been a teacher for 29 years. I have taught at this school district for 27 years. I am the science department chair and a tech mentor for the district and for my site. And I want to tell you, I love my job. I still love my job. In all of these years, I would still choose it unless I could possibly be independently wealthy and play golf every day. Then I tell you I would choose that. But otherwise, it's a great school, and I'm glad that you're here. Do I have any interdistrict transfers new? Okay, so you know the drill. All right, so the first thing here is I want to tell you as a resource for a parent is my website. My website is kind of a hub for communication. If you go to my website, you will see on the home page, and it's Miss Litten Biology, but you can get to it through School Wires, has a direct link here. And on the top of it, you will see the block schedule, the bell schedule, Q Student Connect, my email, how to get back to the school's website, as well as the bring your own device in case some of your students are thinking about bringing their own device to school. If you want to get information about the class, I have Twitter, I have Instagram. I'm posting pictures of your kids all the time. Hope that's okay because you signed something that said it was. Also my YouTube channel. You could find it as Miss Litten Biology, or you could go right there. I have recorded my past lectures because sometimes kids can't come to school. And then they're super sad because they missed what happened. So they can watch a YouTube video and get caught up. But some of those are archived, that they're lessons I've done in the past, but the ones that I always update are my 7th period reviews. So for instance, this is 2nd period honors bio, yes? So they have a quiz tomorrow, and there was a review during 7th period. But if your child was playing tennis and had to leave school early, then they weren't here for the review, or maybe they had to go to math. So I recorded the entire presentation, the board, all of the review questions that I did, and it's up on YouTube for them to watch if they weren't here. Also, this is honors bio, 2nd period.
Yes.
Come on in, we're recording you, so come on in. So that resource there is YouTube, and you can find previous reviews there, like I said. The other thing that's on the home page is my 7th period support calendar, and you can see that as well. I do teach 3 different courses, but most of my time is divvied up between AP Biology and Honors Biology. I do teach one section of freshmen, but another teacher kind of handles the reviews for that. I want to encourage you to think of 7th period as part of their day. My strongest students go to 7th period regularly, whatever that 7th period might be. But again, if they have to go to a math review and they can't come to my 7th period review, they can watch it on YouTube. I have kids doing that on the bus as they're going somewhere. They're watching it and reviewing there. From my homepage, you can get to Honors Bio, which is what they're in. And here you will see the course syllabus, because I'm sure you've read through all of your students' course syllabi for every class and signed them. But the course syllabus is there. Oh my gosh. And here you can see the calendars posted up here. So if you ever go like, what are you doing in class on that day? You know, you can go ahead and look. And you can be that transition where you want to let your kids go, but yet you kind of want to have an eye on what they're doing. Feel free, go to this website. You'll know whenever they have a quiz or a test or an assignment that is due. Now, my philosophy is I do have 2 children, 20 and 23. I know it's hard to believe because I'm only 24 myself, 51. But I feel that homework contributes to the breakdown of the family. And it's a burden, and I don't like that some people think that this is all they're doing is my class. And also there's not a one-size-fits-all for homework, in my opinion. You might like to read, you might like to do practice quizzes, you might like to write essays. So what I try to do is provide a whole bunch of things they can do, and then they can pick what kind of reviews they do want to do. Now, one part that is standard for me is they watch these videos. Maybe you've heard them watching them, but it's a man in Montana, and it's out of Bozeman, Montana, and they watch them through Edpuzzle. So they have to watch the video and they have to answer questions. So it's both input, because they're watching the video, and guess. Output, boom. Output, so because they have to answer that question, so it keeps them involved. So I do have them do that, and to get them in the book, I will have them define terms before the reading. The only reason that is so that they know what I'm going to be talking about the next day. I will go over all of them, but that's the only way I can verify that they even have an idea of some of the vocabulary. But that's very minimal. As far as other assignments, they do that in class. I'm a very bell-to-bell teacher. I start when the bell rings, I end just a couple minutes after. But actually, I've been better. They've been blogging now and having time to debrief at the end of class. So anyway, their calendars are here. This is where I distribute all of their documents is right through this website, their lab documents, their group shared notes. Come through here. Have they shown you their group shared notes? No. Because they're super awesome. Google Classroom is where they have assignments, and that's where they'll turn in their ed puzzles. Their group shared notes, they take their notes collaboratively with a self-selected team, so they're like a team of 4. And I break the notes up into 2 columns, and the column on the left has a scaffolding of all the information they need to know, and the column on the right is open for them to put in pictures. So they each take on a different role, and they can alternate it however they want to. But I have an alpha note taker, and the alpha note taker catches like everything that comes out of my mouth, and I have a bunch of it in there. They just have to put in a few key words. And then the beta note taker might catch the story or 2 and add it to the notes. Flavor Flav, they don't know who that is, but Flavor Flav highlights and makes bold the key points. And then Flip a Pic will go on the internet and find a picture and throw it in there. They have their phones out. We live in a world where there's phones, so they don't bother me to have them in their classroom. So they might take a picture or use their, I don't really care. We're one-to-one. They can use an iPad. They can use a Chromebook, whatever works for them. So when they're done taking their notes, it's not in isolation. It's with a team. And that's what I'm saying. I can't remember what I've said. But if they are absent, did I tell you about FaceTiming in? Okay, all right. So I have many students where they're home sick, or I've had kids do it from a hospital bed. I've had kids do it from an airport. They just have to have a friend who knows how to FaceTime. And I have a little chair that holds phones, and it sits right up here. And they just FaceTime into class, and they can answer questions and like, and we can hear your dogs bark and Mom, leave me alone. It's really funny. But anyway, they can interact with the class even from home and still contribute to their group shared notes. And I encourage them to do that. They can still be involved even if they're not feeling well. Okay, group share. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I already told you about the Bozeman's Ed puzzle, so I'm not going to go over that again. The labs. The labs are investigative labs, labs where you have to think, labs where they have to design, and they're learning how to do that. And if you haven't looked at their lab book, they started it last year, but they will have a portfolio of every lab they've ever done in high school as they work through this, because they tear out the yellow part to be graded and they keep a nice clean copy of it in the front. And so they design the labs. Sometimes there's wiggle room, sometimes not as much. I would say some highlight labs or dissection of a pig. There's an alternate assignment if you're like, no pig. But we do genetically engineer bacteria. We take a mutant red fluorescent protein. We cut that out of a plasmid and splice it into another plasmid and transform bacteria with it. And then we make the bacteria, which is a prokaryotic cell, which I know you know that. We give them a eukaryotic gene to express. So when they express that gene, the bacteria glows red like the jellyfish. So, and we make them antibiotic resistant, but we wash our hands. So those are labs. I already told you about driving questions, student notebook, we're good. This is us doing science. It's more about being able to do science and acting like a scientist than memorizing a lot of things, because now we have Google. Class lab. This, during my presentations, I will push out to them. They log online. They can use their phone. I really don't care. They log in and it'll push questions out to them. So I'll go na 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 na. They interact with each other. I'll go na 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 na, and then I'll push out a quiz all throughout the presentation. And then they answer those questions online anonymously. We sign in as Starbucks coffee drinks. We sign in as our favorite crayon color. So they're always anonymous, but yet they know if they don't know the information. As a teacher, if I can see most of them miss the question, I know it's my fault, and I reteach that part of it. If I see that the answer was A and the students that missed it picked B, then all I have to talk about is why B isn't the right answer. And we do that, through discussions. So that is a really good way for me to know, instead of going, do you get it? I can quantitatively know if they got it or not, and then move on. And they can embed those questions. Remember those group shared notes? They can screenshot them and put every review question right into their notes. Does that make sense? So that's what they have. Additional resources, like I said, my YouTube channel has all my lectures recorded. Every review I do, they can go on there, or if I do a little song or a dance that they're learning. Twitter, Instagram, you can sign up for that. They won't know that you're signed up for it, so if you want to see what's going on, plus I take tons of pictures of your kids. 7th period support. It's very directed. They'll come in here and just intuitively start a group shared note document, not even one that I do, and they say, you want to be in my notes, you want to be in my notes? And they take the 7th period review notes together as well and share them out. Even if your kid's absent, they can get them. Or they work collaboratively on preparing for a lab, or they can watch, remember those videos I have them watch? They can watch those during that time, just using a Chromebook.
Period, you should now be heading to your 3rd period class. It will start at 7:50.
And you know what, that's pretty much it. I like this class, I like this school, and I'm glad they're here. Okay, go to 3rd period. All right. Okay, we hope that was helpful. Excuse me.